I need help. No matter how many times I think it over. No matter how many times I check the date. No matter how many times I look at the pictures. No matter how much I look at the stains on the concrete. No matter how much I tell myself it was a dream. I know for a fact it was real. I died. And now I'm back. Yesterday was normal, if not a little better than normal, since I went out to eat ice cream with friends. I woke up, ate breakfast, finished my deliveries, and then headed back home. A normal day, until I opened the door of my apartment to find a person robbing my place. I still don't know how they got in. The door was locked, and so were the windows. I'm also on the 3rd floor, and there are bars over the windows. Unfortunately, that doesn't change the fact that they got in and stabbed me. I didn't know they had a knife. I was just trying to protect what little I had. I know now it would have been better to call the police, but I didn't. I attacked him, and in return, I was stabbed in the gut and bled out on my apartment floor alone. I still remember my last words clearly. I hope Mom comes to my funeral. Honestly, now that I have time to think it over, I feel like I could have said something more important. I guess in the moment, I just wanted to see Mom again. I woke up 6 hours later, in my bed, in a completely different set of clothes, with my wound fully healed. At first, I thought I might have been dreaming. It was the most logical explanation, especially since I woke up in my bed. That was, until I saw the very obvious red stain on the floor, in the exact spot I died in. I had no idea what to do. I stood there in the hallway staring down at the evidence of my very own murder. Now, both the victim and witness to a crime that had now been reversed. I covered the red stain with a mat and cried for a while. Then considered my options. I could call the police, but I had no reasonable explanation. I could tell people, but they wouldn't believe me, or worse, they would lock me up. I could look for answers, but there was nothing to go off of, other than the robber, the knife, and how I woke up. The only thing I could think to do was continue on with my life as normal. It felt surreal. Eating breakfast, walking to work, delivering packages, and then going back home that day. I couldn't help myself but question if anyone noticed something different about me. Yet nobody said a word. Nobody glared at me or flinched, or even gave me more than the usual hello. Honestly, at the end of the day, I found myself asking if my death meant anything at all. Although after getting slightly frustrated at the lack of attention, I realized that if I had changed, then people would ask too many questions, and I didn't want that either. So I just went through the day feeling confused and annoyed by my current situation. After work, I decided to take a detour and walk through a nearby park. It's really small, but being alone in an open space allowed me to think a bit. The few questions which I am still asking are, Why was I revived? Did the robber revive me? Or did something else do it? Is this temporary? Can I die again? Or was it just that one time? I know I can answer that last one easily. But even after what happened, I still fear death. I'm not going to end my second chance for curiosity's sake. Even though my life is dull, I enjoy it. I am grateful to be alive. Just slightly worried about what will happen next. The time I spent at the park greatly lifted my burdens, and I headed home feeling much more gratitude than I had been. In fact, I walked home feeling kind of like a children's cartoon character that had just learned their lesson. Even as I'm writing this, I feel that way. Because what other purpose did that nightmare serve? I highly doubt that I am supposed to become some kind of superhero now. I'll still look for other reasons and clues to what this all could mean, and if someone is behind this. But for now, I am just going to continue living my life as normal. I just saw something. There is someone outside my window. I called the police and am in my closet now. I went through the hallway opposing that window, so they couldn't see where I hid. It's been 30 minutes, and the police haven't arrived yet. I don't think that figure was the robber. They looked too short. I have no idea how they got to that window. I don't want to die again. It's been an hour and I still don't hear sirens. My phone is at 57% as of me writing this. I called again, but all they said is they were on their way. I'll continue writing until something happens. If I hear someone enter my apartment, I'll publish this. It's been 3 hours. It's nearly 12:40 a.m. at this point. Where are the police? Why are they knocking on the window? If no one comes in the next 10 minutes, I'll just post this and run. It's behind me. I can see its eyes in the reflection. I don't know what to do. Oh God, help me, please. Please, someone help. I'm too afraid to move. I'm not going to type. It'll hear. I woke up again. I was killed by whatever was in there with me. I'm currently in a donut shop 2 blocks away from my house. I got out of there as soon as I realized what had happened. I called the police, but they hung up on me when I did. I've tried so many people's phones, but none of them work. I'm too scared to even tell anyone now. What if it silences them too? I have no idea what it can do, but I don't want to test it. One of my questions was answered last night, though. I can die multiple times. Each time feels like sleeping. It's not darkness, just fuzziness for an instant, and then I wake up again. I don't know what that thing was, but it was horrifying. I can't describe much of it, other than eyes. It blended in with the wall, but was just slightly off, that I could see its eyes in my phone screen's reflection. I think it's reviving me, but for what purpose I have no clue. I just know that whatever it is wants to kill me. I went to work, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. I think I'll stay in a hotel tonight, and then maybe go back to my apartment tomorrow. I'll go back with someone, though, just in case it's still there. Then, they can call the police for me. Or if not that, at least I'll have someone else who I can talk to about all this, other than whoever reads this after I post it. After I arrived at my hotel room, I called a work friend over, explaining I was at a hotel due to someone stalking me. It was a simple but believable lie. He asked if I had contacted the police about it, and I told him I had, and they didn't do anything about it. That struck up a nice conversation about how law enforcement just isn't reliable for crimes like these without evidence. It got my mind off things, even though I felt kind of awful for bad-mouthing the police, when they really couldn't do anything to help. It's almost 11:30 p.m. as I'm writing this, and I feel good about my plan. My work friend is going to leave in a few minutes, but there has been no sign of it. It's here. My work friend is currently in the bathroom, and I can see it out the window again. It isn't up close like it was before. It's in the parking lot below instead, looking up at me. It also doesn't look human like it had when it was in the window last night. I'm not taking my eyes off of it until he gets out of the bathroom. It only appeared after he left, so if he comes back, maybe, it might leave me alone. I can type more after he comes out of the bathroom, but the line is about to drop out of my peripheral vision. He sees it too. I'm not crazy. He sees it. He tried to call the police, but the same thing happened. I explained a little, and he got pretty pissed that I didn't tell him, but agreed he probably wouldn't have believed me. We're taking shifts watching the thing. It hasn't moved for a half an hour. I can feel it touching me. It feels like pins and needles wherever it does. Then, after it pulls away, it itches for a while like a bug bite. I hate this. We don't know how it got in. I think I'm going to die again. I'm not worried about me dying, though. I know I'll come back. I'm more worried about Mac. I don't want him to die because of this being I now seem to be carrying around with me. He's watching me type from his hiding spot under the bed. He can probably see what it fully looks like. If you're reading this after I've died, Mac, I'll be okay. I promise. This has happened 2 times already. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Please stay away from me after you get out of this. I don't want anyone else to die. I can't drop the phone. My hands feel like they're asleep. Why haven't you killed me yet? Can I speak? Please don't. Where did you come from? Why are you bringing me back? Is it permanent? What is it? Why? Will you kill us after I do it? Please. Why me? So it was random? Then why was I chosen? The plea for help I began with seems almost foolish now. I started confused, and ended writing this feeling almost like I'd found the answer to all of my questions. It spoke to me, and I wrote back to it. Mac is still hiding. In fact, it's still watching me type this. It always was, because this is exactly what it wanted. I can see its form move in the static of black shadows of the room and windows. Before, I wrote it off as my mind playing tricks on me. Like when I thought there was something in the blackness of my bedroom or down the hall. I'll wake up tomorrow, but today I'm going to die. I'm going to die and wake up every day for the rest of my life. Until the end of time. I asked how to stop it, because I know eventually I'll cave. It answered me, but don't worry. It said they'll wake up.